Alrighty, guys, what is up? Welcome back to Satisfactory Update 8 with Lone Debater 7. And today we are going to be doing our modular frames build. So I went ahead and built out this fairly large platform area that we can utilize to place the build down. So it's just on the back end, right next to our rotors. So kind of the goal with this, we want to be generating about 10 modular frames a minute. So, and by about I mean exactly 10 modular frames a minute, which means we're going to have 5 assemblers for this. I wouldn't mind keeping part of this open so we can still, utilize it. So I think I want to try to target our output of modular frames like right here. That's what I would like to do. It's 4 and 5. And so I believe I am going to utilize just the standard modular frame recipe. That way it's just iron being utilized and I don't have to worry about doing the steel production and conversion and all of that nonsense in order to get this running. It is going to require 2 pure iron nodes. I have the 20 stacks of 100 iron ore to place the one pure node, and I'm generating the other set back in our little ore mining area. So it should be ready by the time we need it, hopefully. So first things first, let's go ahead and get power for everything. Well, by everything I mean for these assemblers, kind of sorted. So 1, 2, actually, I don't like that. I don't know if I like that one better. So we will place it. It's fine if it's not on the corner of a foundation. That's generally where I try to place these things, but you know what? It's not the end. So we're going to place something like this. That's the assembler's basically ready to roll. I do need to connect this to power just in general. So I think I will plug it into this line. So now we got power over here. Great. Excellent. So this is the target for our modular frames. Now to build these, we need reinforced iron plate and iron rods. Since we're doing 5 of these, we can multiply these by 5. So we need 15 reinforced iron plate per minute and 60 iron rod per minute. Now the rods are going to be a lot easier to do, I think. It's only going to require 4 constructors making rods in order to supply these 5 machines. And I think I will place them in line next to the other rod constructors we have for our rotor. Decent spot for it, I think. And we'll kind of go from there. Now, the way I plan on splitting this is going to utilize 1 normal node worth for 4 constructors. So that's going to take half of one of our pure nodes. That's fine. Not a big deal. I wouldn't mind plugging that in right there. Actually, you know what? We're going to run this power pole down to be in line with these guys. Bridge it like that. I know I don't have to do this. It just kind of makes the power poles look a little nicer, in my opinion. So these are the rods that we're going to utilize. Now, each of these takes 12. So I think and we have to split it into 5. So what's going to be the best way to do this? I think I merge these together, then I split them twice is what I'm going to do, because then I can have 60 rods on a single belt, and then splitting it twice will give me 15 on each. I don't need a merger there. I need it actually on the next one. So that's okay. Not a big deal. We'll fix that. 1, 2, and 3. These plug in here. These plug in the next one. This one plugs into this one. Something like this. So these can all be Mark 1 belts because they are just going to hit a max of 60 rods per minute on the final output that's coming from right here. Now I need to split this twice, so I think what makes the most sense here, I'm going to have a belt coming from this direction, and ultimately what's going to happen is, well, let me think about this. I need 12 for each of them, right? And in theory, 12 times 5 is 60, right? But that ratio is not great to try to figure out. So to get 12 from 60, I really need to split this into 5. So I need to do it's basically like a 3-to-5 ratio split is kind of what this is going to look like. So I think, let me just think about this for a second. If I take 60, split it into 3, that's 20 on each. I can then merge a 20, and then I need 5 on the other one. So how do I want to do this? I think if I take a splitter here, right? So this is just going to take this belt. So this is 60 coming in to this guy. If I split it twice, it's 30 and 30. Which is not quite what I want, because I can't throw 15 on each line, otherwise I'd only be able to run 4 of these with excess. So really what I need is, if I take all 3 of these ports, that will give me 20 on each belt, right? If I split that 20 into thirds, that will give me roughly 6.5 or like 7 for each line if I split it another 3 ways. And 7 plus 20 is 27. Divided by 3 is 9. And then I need another 3. So that ratio doesn't quite work. If I split this in half and have 30 and 30, and run that into a splitter, that'll give me 15 on each line. If I split the 15s, that'll give me 7.5 on each. So let's try this. If I take 2 lines, that's 30 and 30, 15, 15, off of each of those, if I split it another couple times, then what I could do is actually take the 50. If I take the 30 and split it into thirds, that's 10. Then I need to throw 2 more per. So I'm just trying to do this math to get the ratio right. So alright guys, so after thinking about it, I think what we're going to do instead is just a manifold approach. So we're going to front load our machines, or like overflow our machine, if that makes sense, and then kind of go from there. So I'm going to take our main belt, and I think I will feed this in on a Mark II, then have a Mark I feeding into this machine, take another splitter that's going to feed into this machine. Whoops, I need to rotate that. This will be the feed belt into all the splitters will be a Mark II to make sure it saturates faster, and then the feed into the machine will be is what I want. So this belt's Mark I, this belt's Mark II. And what I can do as well, these are rods, which I have quite a bit of, so I can saturate all these machines before the line gets going, and then it won't be as big of a deal. The ratio will kind of figure itself out. Now on this one, I can just take our last splitter here and split it twice instead of just once. And do something like this, and then that should work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go grab 1,000 rods and just put those into the assemblers so they're primed, right? And then once we turn on the rod constructor, it won't be as big of a deal. It'll just kind of keep the machine running afterwards. 4, 5. That will take all my rods, and I'll have to come back and grab another 200 just so we can keep on building. But I think this approach is going to be a lot easier. Trying to split 60 into 12s is not an easy split, so running the manifold approach is a lot better. Now, if I had smart splitters, I could probably do this, because then I could have one. I believe the way those work, or maybe it's programmable, not even smart splitters that does this, but then I could program that I want 12 coming off of the line or something, right? I don't have access to those. I could get it because I have Caterium, but it's not worth trying to go through all the milestones and all that nonsense. Just a bunch of time that I don't need to spend. So we're going to do this. It's not quite as good as trying to have everything split perfect, but you know what? I'm okay with it. So, all right, that's our rods. I know. Took a long time to figure out the rods, but that's okay. Not a big deal. We've got that done. So we've got rods sorted, minus the iron going into them, but that's fairly easy. I guess we could build the smelters for this. So we've got 4. I'm going to need 2 iron smelters in order to run these 4 constructors. So I can go ahead and replace these. We'll have 1 there. We'll have the second one. And these are also going to take a splitter. Now this will be a perfect split because it's easy. Just going 60, 30 to 15. That is a very easy split to do with. So we'll take care of that. And we'll do the same thing for this one. It'd help if I place the splitter in, right? That's great. Not a big deal. Boom. Alright. We can set these to iron and iron. And then I can plug these to power pole, connect that, maybe to this one. Alright, so that's a smelter set up. I do need to supply these guys with some iron ore in order to get it to work, but we'll deal with that in a moment. Next, we need to figure out our iron, or reinforced iron plate, which I am going to do from just a single assembler. So we'll place down the assembler first. I don't know if I like that placement. I kind of don't. I could move it forward. Move it. Bring it like that. I'm going to use our alternate bolted iron plate recipe, which takes screws and iron plate to make these. So we need 90 iron plate and 250 screws. So the screws, we're going to use our alternate screw recipe that we have, cast screws, to give us 50 per minute off of 12.5. So I need 5 of these constructors making screws. And then I also need 5 constructors making iron plate. Now, iron plate is going to be a 1-for-1, 1 smelter per iron plate constructor. So I think I will place 2 iron plate constructors here. So 1 and 2. Oops. And we can bring our like this. Connect those together. Great. All right. So 2 iron plates. Then I need another 2, so I can just plunk those down as well. So 1, 2. And that's 80. So I actually need 1 more. 5. That's 100 iron plate per minute that these constructors will make. I know it is a little bit more than what we need, but you know what? I'm okay with that. Plug that into there, and we'll just max out this pole. Fair enough. This pole needs to come over in this direction where we put the screws. I also need to plug in power for our assembler here, so I can plug that in there, I guess. Sure. And this, I can... So it is a 15. I wish I had a 5-port splitter, but I don't, because I need 3 iron plate per minute on this. So... the split is going to be kind of weird. I think we'll again run with a manifold design and just call it a day. So this can be a Mark II, this can be a Mark II, Mark II, that's Mark III. But I just want to... And I can pre-fill this with iron plate as well. I do have quite a bit of iron plate just chilling over in our storage box because we started producing that quite a while ago. So I'll probably end up doing that. Last splitter, similar thing, kind of like that. Okay, so that's the output of this machine sorted. Yeah, whenever you're trying to get like a weird number, it's kind of not the easiest thing in the world to do. Now for these, I will merge our iron plates onto a single line. Is the play. What I can do here. This one can still be a Mark 1, but the next one has to be. So 20, 40, 60. So actually, I guess this one as well. But I do need a Mark II on the output of this into the assembler in order to get this to feed the 90 that we need with it. So there's that. Iron plate basically sorted. I can place the smelters behind these as well just to get it rolling. So one smelter, two smelter, three smelter, 4, and 5. I know I need to set the recipe still. Just a second. Do it on our walk back. And then I need to plug this line in to the rest of the power over here. This power pole and go. Actually, I can plug it into this. Oh, I maybe want that open for a miner or something. So we'll just plug it in here. Fine. Power lines are a little bit messy, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. So, okay. We've got our smelter set up for iron plate and a rod. Now we just need to figure out our screws, which is not too bad either. We are going to have 5 constructors making screws. Oh, I'm missing cable. Funny enough. Let's go grab that. And I might have enough inventory space at this particular moment to grab the 500 reinforced iron plate that I want to bring over. But for sure, grab the 200 cable that I need. Okay. And yeah, I do have room for the reinforced. Because we're going to do a similar thing to the assemblers at the end that we did with the rods, and just pre-feed them with 100 plate each. So they start out, that gives time for the system to buffer the resources so we don't have to worry about this manifold approach kind of taking a long time to spool up, because it will otherwise. And it will take much longer than the rods to spool up the 500 reinforced iron plates. So there we go. There's that. Those are now set. And they are going to start producing is the only thing. I guess that's not the end of the world, because it's pretty slow, but that does put a clock on us. So, okay, let's go ahead and place these constructors quickly. 3, 4, and 5. Okay. These are screw constructors, and we are going to merge all these into a single line. So, let's. I should set these recipes while I'm over here. I should also plug them into power, but we'll do that in a moment. And where's the import? It's over there. Now at this point, we're going to have like 200, so this probably does need to be Mark 3. We'll just make it 3 starting at this middle point. It probably doesn't need to be. This one definitely needs to be 2, because we're moving 100 when we hit this point, so yeah. Okay, that's fine. I think that is correct. Here's we would find out. I could do the central line just all Mark 3, I suppose. Then there's no worries at all. But yeah, I think we'll be alright. So we'll just max out these poles, and then this power pole has a port, which we're going to bring down here so we can place a miner. I do need to build some smelters to feed this as well. So I'm going to need 3 smelters to run these 5 machines, so I can maybe squeeze these in. Yes, I can. Great. We're going to max out this power pole for the smelters and plug that in there. Set these to iron. And this is going to be a reasonably power-intensive build, I must say, but that's okay. Now on the back, I need to set up the splitters for our machines. So that'll feed 2. That'll feed 2. And then the last one is just going to get a bunch of extra iron, and that's okay. So let's take you. Add in like that. This is going to go like that. Then the final one, I'm just going to run along the outside down to this last point. Cool. So there's that. So those are connected. Those are connected. So let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here, and then another 3. So it's a total of 9. Is that right? Yeah, it is, I suppose. Now, granted, I could probably slow feed this one, and it'll be okay, because I don't really need a full kilter production out of this last piece, this last constructor making iron plate. So, alright, let's place our nodes. I know I am going to have a cure node. Like here. Well, actually, how do I want to do this? Let's actually set up the rod side first. Because the rods for sure need to be fully supplied. So let's do that first. So I need a node here. I don't know if I like it there. We'll maybe put it in like this. Have the miner help in this direction. Where does that stick the front of the miner at? I think that'll work. Sure. Then what I need to do is split this twice. So I can feed 4 of them. So this will be a splitter to feed these 2. I need a split before it hits them. Let's go ahead and plug this in. It's going to get a bit messy here, and I apologize for that, but you know what? I am just trying to make this work. I also need to go grab some iron plate in order to be able to build the belts that we need. So we'll go grab some iron plate. As you can see, this is quite an expensive build as far as resources go, but having the 10 modular frames per minute being built is going to be quite useful for us. So there's that. I guess while I'm over here, I can grab the additional 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then I also need a miner because we are going to have to place another pure node. So there's that. Okay. Excelente. Run back over. It looks like I missed recipes on a couple of these, and that's alright. We'll go ahead and set that. Alternate cast screw, and alternate cast screw. Excellent. Now I could make this a lot cleaner if I multi-layered the building, which I thought about, but it's okay. I'm not too concerned. So, alright. got a splitter here. Gonna need another splitter here. Yeah, that's definitely what I wanted. Thank you. Actually, that is not a splitter. Oh, no, it is. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Now, I need to place another splitter in such a way that I can feed this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to feed the outputs of this miner into the top here. Because then what this allows me to do is take a conveyor lift and run it straight in like that. Then I can take the other side and run it over the top of the splitter like that. Okay. So that'll be 4 of our smelters sorted. We for sure have our iron rods fully saturated, and we got 2 of these guys fully saturated. Now what I could do on this part is I could split, so I need 90 ore to fully run these. I need to run at least 2 of them full tilt, and then this last one is not quite as big of a deal. And then the same thing over here. I don't quite need to run this one full tilt either. So what I could do is set this down to 15. So I need 30 and 30, and then 15. So if I build a pure node, that gives us a total of 120. All right, easy. Let's see if we can split this up. Now I'm going to have a miner on it, and I think I want the miner facing this way. Bringing power over like that. All right, now we are going to split this 2 times, I think. So there's 1. That'll be 1. That'll be another. So which one did I set to 15? I set this one. Actually, okay. So this takes 30. 30. And 30. Okay, fair enough. There's that. Those 2 are running. Great. Now, I am going to run another splitter, like here. It's also going to take 60. Well, this doesn't quite work, does it? I need slightly more than what this is going to help with. So, I think we will use another one of our shards and get us up to 180. So this actually needs to be a Mark II or Mark III belt. And then what I can do instead is actually split 90 and 90. In order to do that, that needs to be a Mark II. That also needs to be a Mark II. Now I can run 3 lines off of this into those 3 over there. So let's go place the target splitter, and then I think I will use a conveyor lift and kind of just run it over the top, is what I'm thinking. So put this, go 1, 2, 3. Now what we do, come over here. Has to be a Mark II lift. And how long is this going to be? Probably like there. And just run this over the top of our machines. And try to find our target point. It's going to be like here. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the lift situated. Probably that. And this needs to connect That is a little. Maybe like that. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, so there's the ore going into these three. So that should work. Now we have the production being done. Our screws are coming in. Our iron plate is kind of trickling in. These last 2 or 3 plate constructors will turn online. So we've got reinforced plate flowing. That's good. We've got rods flowing. That's also good. And how are we looking? If I go to the last assembler in this line, that's the one that matters the most. It still has products, so we are sitting just fine. Now what I'm going to do is the output of this line needs to be merged. So throw some mergers down, and then run the belt back over to the box, and that'll be that. We will have our 10 modular frames per minute being built. Cost us a lot of resources and quite a bit of time to get this set up, but definitely worth it. Having modular frames being built automatically is fantastic because we need them for quite a bit of various buildings take them, as well as they're used as an immediate product for some of the higher tier items as well. I think I will elevate this line. That's what I'd like to try to pull off. And then we'll throw these. Belt is too long, eh? I don't like that. We'll make that a little shorter. I said that and then made it the exact same height. There we go. Alright. Then I'm just going to go back through, remove all of the conveyor poles that we built. And there we go. We've got frames coming out, and that is because we pre-built the machines, but we can kind of see how this is going to work. They're going to come out of our assemblers and travel this super long way, all the way into our box. But there you have it, guys. We do have modular frames automated at 10 per minute, utilizing 2 pure iron nodes. One of our pure nodes is overclocked to 150% to generate 180. The other is just doing the flat 120. But there you have it. This is our build. Quite complicated, meaning it's a bit messy and costs quite a bit of resources to actually pull off. But yeah, we accomplished what we wanted to. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always. And until next time, this has been Lone Debater 7, and we will see ya.